With the market softening, did you know that more real estate deals are falling apart?
Sure, bidding wars are still around, but nothing like what we experienced last year and earlier this year. In fact, some sellers are having to lower their asking prices just to get an offer.
So what can a seller do to ensure a successful sale?
In this video, we are going to go over 5 main reasons deals fall apart and how sellers can be proactive rather than reactive.
Let's set the stage. As a seller, you've spent weeks, possibly months, preparing your home for sale. It's taken lots of time, lots of energy, and lots of money to get your house prepared. The house has never looked better, and all your hard work has paid off because you just signed around a deal for a buyer to purchase your home. Congratulations, let's pop the champagne.
Wait, not so fast. There are still a few steps to get through before you can truly celebrate. Just because you have a signed contract does not mean it's a done deal. Things can go wrong and the deal can still fall apart.
It's true. Sellers have gotten spoiled over the past several years with such buyer frenzy that most homes were selling way above the asking price and with little risk to the sellers because, let's face it, buyers were waiving all their contingencies. Well, it's time for a wake-up call. Contingencies are back.
The first contingency that leads to deals falling apart is a buyer's inspection of a seller's home. During an inspection contingency, the buyer holds the cards and has the leverage. They can walk from the deal, renegotiate the price, or ask for the seller paid repairs. If buyer and seller don't agree on how to handle this, the seller is back to square one, back on the market, and waiting for another buyer. So, what can sellers do to try to prevent this?
The answer is twofold. First, sellers can perform an inspection on their own home before hitting the market. That way, sellers are informed upfront and not blindsided by something an inspector finds that they didn't already know about. We go into the benefits of this in detail in the video linked above. The second way to avoid this is to negotiate with the buyers to perform their inspection before officially accepting their offer. Even in markets that favor buyers, this can be negotiated.
We have an effective method that allows the buyer to perform their inspection, prevents the seller from accepting another offer, allows negotiating, and minimizes the chances of the home falling out of contract due to the inspection contingency.
The second way that deals fall apart is due to the buyer's inability to obtain financing. This can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe the buyer's debt-to-income ratio is too high, maybe their credit score just isn't up to par, or there isn't adequate money for both a down payment and what the lender requires as part of the buyer's reserves. Whatever the reason, if the loan can't go through, the deal will be canceled and the seller has to start all over again trying to get the house sold.
The solution? Make sure the buyer has not just talked with the lender, but that the buyer has gone through the detailed process to obtain preliminary underwriting approval. This is when they submit all their documents, including pay stubs, tax returns, financial statements, and more to the lender for review so they are thoroughly vetted. Before a seller signs on the dotted line to accept an offer, we make sure we have an in-depth conversation with the buyer's lender and verify all of this.
The third way deals fall apart is due to the appraisal. When a buyer applies for a loan, one of the requirements necessary for funding it is to have an appraisal performed. This is an independent valuation of what the property is worth in the current market and to determine if any work needs to be done prior to issuing the loan. If the price that the buyer and seller agree upon is not backed up with the valuation found in the appraisal, it can kill the deal. In this case, sellers could agree to reduce the price, or the buyers could put down more money in order to make up the difference. But if the difference in the contract price and the appraised price is tens of thousands of dollars apart, this will create a problem.
It is possible to challenge a low appraisal, but that's often unsuccessful and doesn't mean the lender or buyer will cooperate. Low appraisals have not been an issue recently. However, if the market continues to soften and there is a measurable decline in prices, lenders will become more conservative and not want to take any unnecessary risk. That's why we always talk with the appraiser and show them what comparable properties were used to justify the sales price, as well as point out any upgrades of the home to substantiate the value.
The fourth potential issue that causes deals to fall apart has to do with title issues. Just like obtaining clear title when purchasing a car, buyers want to purchase a home with a clean title. Often, title defects can be cleared before closing, but some of the more significant ones, like an expensive lien the seller wasn't aware of, lawsuits, or boundary disputes can kill a deal fast.
As a seller, the solution here is pretty simple. Pull preliminary title and make sure it is reviewed well in advance of going on the market. That way, any defects or blemishes to the title are not a surprise and can be dealt with before going under contract.
The fifth reason why deals fall apart is due to buyer's remorse. In a seller's market, this isn't as common, but when the market levels off or even shifts to the buyer's favor, this happens a lot. That's because buyers are looking over their shoulder to see if a better home or deal comes on the market. It's only normal for buyers to feel anxious, especially first-time buyers. But this anxiety can mushroom into total remorse. When this happens, buyers look for loopholes to get out of a deal. The best way to prevent this is for great agents to communicate well, manage expectations for all parties, and try and keep the momentum moving forward and positive.
We don't want to be alarmists. Most of the time when an offer is accepted, the sale will likely go through. However, as a seller, it is far better to be proactive than wishfully thinking that you will not hit any snags, especially in a shifty market like this one.
The market is fluid and always changing. For the latest updates on the greater Seattle housing market, be sure to watch this playlist. And you'll also want to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our timely content. Over and out.